Welcome to Teaching Singing Observation and Practice. I'm Hal Thomas.
Thank you, Madeline. I don't have to tell you that studying classical music provides the best musical and technical training for your students. Or do I? You should teach classical music to all your students. It doesn't matter if they're school choir singers, working rock musicians, bluegrass pickers, music theater geeks, they'll all benefit from learning classical music. The intellectual, musical, and technical challenges of studying and performing classical music can be absorbing and demanding, but classical training allows transfer, an educational psychology term for those who are still paying attention, into better quality performances no matter what the genre. It never fails. At this point, some of you are thinking that I am an elitist snob. Well, you got that right. I am. And to paraphrase Mel Brooks, it's good to be the snob. Now, where to begin? What language? What era of musical history? What tempo? What's the fastest land animal?
Men who run from commitment.
I rely heavily on the Italian literature for beginners because it's phonetically easier than singing in English. The language is less cluttered and the melodies and musical character are immensely attractive. The psychological effect of Italian song is unique, especially, as frequently happens with beginners, students notice their tone becomes more full, and register problems are not as severe as when they sing in English. Now, you could use material from that old standby Schirmer's 24 Italian Songs and Arias, the one with the absolutely terrible and often impossible to sing editing, and pseudo-Shakespearean English lyrics under the Italian. Or Alfred's 26 Italian Songs and Arias, which has much better editing, closer to an urtext feel. And it provides fine translations and stylistic variations where appropriate. Now, the first Italian song to teach your students? Why, Caro Mio Ben, of course. I think it's illegal in about 20 countries to teach a different first Italian song. Now, you might think it's an old chestnut, but think again. It has a healthy descending scale line at the start, simple but challenging Italian throughout, a non-threatening range, and provides a practical introduction to ternary form. The opening words, Caro mio ben, credimi al ben, senza di te languisce il cor, are a statement of love and longing. Believe me, darling, when I tell you, without you, my heart languishes. I often tell my students they're basically singing, Baby, baby, I miss you so! And the introduction of Italian song gets much easier from that point on. The words may seem strange, but the emotions are all too familiar. And now here's Madeline again. Madeline is a newer student of mine. She's in 5th grade, and she's been working on this song for a while. What you're going to see is a recreation of how we started learning the song. So the vowels are A, E, I, O, U, pronounced A, A, E, I didn't make that I very well, did I? O, and U. You say those?
E.
Oops.
A. E. O.
Very good. We take these vowel sounds and substitute them when we see the letter in the music. Caro mio ben. Can you say that?
Caro mio ben.
Credimi.
Credimi.
Almen.
Almen.
Senza di te.
Senza di te.
Languisce.
Languisce.
Il cor.
Il cor.
Now, here's the tune. Listen. Let's try that on Lu, okay? If you need to follow with your finger, that's fine. 1, 2. We're just going to have you say the Italian in that section. All right? Go ahead.
Caro mio ben, credimi a me, senza di te languisce il cor.
Let's try it now, saying the Italian as I play the melody. Okay? Same section. 1, 2. Caro mio ben.
Credimi a me.
Good. Senza di te.
Senza di te
Languisce il cor.
languisce il cor.
Very good. Let's try the melody in Italian. Here we go. 1, 2.
Caro mio ben, credimi a me, senza di te languisce il cor.
And now, the moment everyone watching an educational video longs for, the review and closing. It's never a bad idea for you to sing some of the song to give the student a performance image. But don't, after that initial demonstration, keep singing phrases for them. The goal is to help them make the song their own, and your examples, if force-fed, won't help them. If all of your students end up singing identically, or worse, exactly like you're not doing your job. Introduce the 5 basic Italian vowel sounds. And when you do, don't get crazy about avoiding diphthongal glides, extreme vowel purity, and placement, and other linguistic and musical nuances just yet. Plenty of time for those later on, and their adaptation needs to be developmental anyway for those habits to stick. Have them try the melody on a neutral vowel or syllable, lip trill or tongue trill if possible, to establish basic line and breath flow. Then say the lyrics slowly and have the student repeat them. If you think it may help, have the student say the words in rhythm while you play the melody. Then we try singing in Italian. All of these steps help ensure success. It's not necessary to take them through the whole song in the first lesson. The A section is enough, or even the first phrase. Whichever gives the most initial success is enough for starters. Finally, and here is where the purists will argue with me, don't teach it at a boringly slow tempo. Teaching classical music, and especially Italian songs for beginners, will open up your students' voices and their minds. Be creative in their presentation. Remember, the songs are not museum pieces carved out of marble and guarded in glass cabinets with elaborate security measures, including motion sensors, laser-activated alarms, and drop-down steel retaining walls. Perhaps I've seen too many James Bond movies. Classical music was composed for and about people. And if you remember that human nature and human emotions have remained relatively unchanged throughout the centuries, you'll find ways to make classical literature accessible, understandable, and enjoyable for your students.
Thanks for watching, and if you're finding this series useful, please subscribe. Bye. Welcome to Singing, Teaching, Observation, and Practice. I'm Hal Thomas.
Singing, teaching? It's teaching, singing.
Welcome to Teaching, Singing, Observation, and...
It's wonderful. One more.
Welcome to Teaching, Singing, Observation, and Practice. I'm Hal Thomas.
What on you? You fanned your hair.
I'm sorry. Give it some time. For Macy to burp.
Thanks for watching, and if you're finding this series useful, you better subscribe. Bye.